operation was launched just days after the US announced it would maintain a military presence in northern Syria. That pointed to a clash of interests between Turkey and the US. Well, for more of the US perspective, we're joined now by retired US Brigadier General Mark Kimmitt out of Washington, D.C. Thank you again for your time. Firstly, the American Defence Secretary Jim Mattis has revealed that Turkey has kept in close contact with the US and gave full warning before it launched its operation in Syria. Do we know how the US reacted to the news?
Well, I think the general reaction of the United States was disappointment. As we have been saying in diplomatic channels, in political channels, in military channels, let's stay focused on ISIS. Our mission inside of Syria right now is the destruction of ISIS. That's what the 70-nation coalition is working on, to include Turkey. We see this operation as a distraction from that mission. However, we do respect Turkey's legitimate concerns about their national security, and they would appear to be conducting this operation in accordance with international law. We hope that the number of casualties will be small. We hope that the operation will be quick.
Yes, and I'm wondering, in your view, is there at least some understanding or even sympathy for Turkey's position, given that the YPG militia, as we know, is at its doorstep? Are there any signs that the White House is more sympathetic towards Turkey's point of view now that the operation has been launched?
Well, I'm not talking to the White House, as you can imagine. However, I think there is a general understanding of the Turkish rationale behind this operation. We don't condemn it. We don't support it. We want to get back into the business of killing ISIS.
Do you believe that the two can go hand in hand, though? That is, Turkey's operation against the YPG in Afrin and beyond, as well as the destruction of Daesh. Are the two necessarily not mutually exclusive?
Well, there is some measure of overlap, but I would remind your viewers that there is a difference of opinion between the 70-nation coalition as to the status of the YPG and that which is held by the government of Turkey. We have been working with the YPG for the destruction of Daesh for some period of time. As you know, if the Americans had any direct evidence that the YPG was working on behalf of the PKK, we would be in violation of our own law, because we believe and have declared the PKK as a terrorist organization as well. So this is something that needs to be worked out between the two countries. Again, we hope this is a short operation. We hope the casualties are limited. We hope the humanitarian aspects of this are completely taken into account on all parties. But we want to get back into the business of defeating ISIS so that we can move to stabilization and then on to a political solution inside of Syria in a post-Assad environment.
As you know, Turkey has made repeated representations to the US about its arming of the YPG. I'm wondering, do you believe that there may be a time where the US might reconsider its position on the YPG as a partner in defeating Daesh, or will the White House remain steadfast in its view against the militia?
Our view with the YPG remains that they're the most effective fighters on the ground in the fight against ISIS. Our relationship with the YPG is not a permanent one, it's a temporary one. And we certainly will look with great concern if the YPG becomes a threat to Turkey, and if it becomes allied with the PKK, or if it becomes the basis of a military that would provide support for Syrian Kurdistan independence. That is inconsistent with our views.
Okay, Mark Kimmitt in Washington, D.C. Always good to get your insights. Thank you again.